Gotta get out of my head, gotta get out of my bed. Gotta stop worrying about all my problems and focus on finding solutions instead. Change up the vision, been on a mission to count on my blessings instead of my bread. I've been addicted to better in every component I know I control before I'm dead. Finally figure I've been that. If I'm talking, I'm making an impact. If it's hate on the way, then I skip that. If I said it, you know that I meant that. And in fact, I won't be throwing no stones, rather be setting the tone.
Oh man,
I gotta get it, I'm grown, even if it's on my own.
oh man.
Enemies trying to get rid of me, tendencies that'll turn kin to the enemy. Pretend to be with the team, here's my remedy. Focus on me and the things God getting me. With these seeds planted, grow my entities, been going hard. The intensity, how that work out, splendidly. Focus on me and the things God getting me.
What is up, people? What is going on? Bigger Ford Entertainment got Brandman from the Spoiler Kings here with me today. Finally found someone to talk some Monarch with, so we're gonna do that today. What's up, Brandman? How you doing?
Oh yeah, man. Love it. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good today, man. How about you?
Can't complain. Can't complain. Doing pretty good. Thank you for joining me on the stream today. It's appreciated.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Did you get to see all 4 episodes or only the first 3?
I've seen yeah, today was the 4th episode. I believe I've
Yeah.
seen all 4 of them, yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll get into it. First off, because I didn't do anything for season 1, but when you seen it, did you enjoy season 1?
I liked season 1. I like anything MonsterVerse related, even especially this kind of newer MonsterVerse that we've been getting since 2014, I believe was its inception.
Mm-hmm.
With Godzilla. I really enjoy it. I like the universe building. It's just a very fun universe. Love everything Titan related. So yeah. I really enjoyed season 1. Like that Godzilla was front and center. I like that Kong is more centralized in this season. So yeah. I'm really having fun with it. I look forward to every Friday morning. I can start it up over breakfast.
I'm right there with you. When I seen the first episode, I was like, oh, we're getting a lot of Kong in this one. Okay, that's good. And I like the way they did it, right? You get the first season, a lot of Godzilla, second season, a lot of Kong. And the one thing I like about this show is because the movies weren't that great for me. I thought they were okay, but them kids in those movies drove me up a wall.
Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So at least the kids in this movie or in this series are at least smart, and they're not doing stupid stuff that they were doing in the movies. So that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy this too.
Same. A little more on that later too.
Absolutely.
I do like the characters. I like Kurt Russell's class and everything that he's in.
Mm-hmm.
I like kind of how they're hopping, the way that they're hopping between past and present.
Yeah.
Interesting way to kind of press forward with the narrative.
I agree with you 100%. I really like that they're mixing the flashbacks in pretty well. And usually when they mix the flashbacks in, they're connected to what's happening in the future events, So I really enjoy that part.
Definitely. And it's sometimes that's a tightrope act. That's a balancing act to kind of jump between kind of past and present and still maintain hook your interest. It's really easy to kind of lose, kind of derail the narrative, and thankfully they don't.
Absolutely.
Which is another reason that I really enjoy the show.
Absolutely. Right there with you. Now we have 4 episodes, so we're not going to break down every episode. We'll talk about what we liked and if there's anything we didn't like and stuff like that. So is there anything in episode 1? What was your overall thoughts on it?
Episode 1, I liked how swiftly it jumped in, especially considering the way season 1 ended. And I loved the way season 1 ended, that final shot of Kong, because I'm a Kong fan. I love King Kong.
Me too.
I like all the Skull Island stuff. I actually, probably out of all the MonsterVerse movies, Kong Skull Island is probably my favorite one.
Agreed.
So I liked how it picked up pretty much directly. It didn't even break stride. It tosses you right back in. It, they lay out the gravity and of the situation. I like how they don't really waste any time with Kurt Russell's character of Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And even though there were some serious repercussions in rescuing him, obviously, but yeah, I liked kind of how they. What's the older brother's what's the brother's name? Kate's brother.
Oh my lord, I don't remember. I know what you're talking about, but go ahead, though. I got the cast names.
But his character, I like what they're doing with him. It seems like they've progressed with him. There's a little more progression and maturity with him that I like. I like how he's kind of been working alongside his father.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'm curious about how time works with why is the name escaping me, man?
Kentro.
Kentro. And the other dimension that they were in, whatever it was called, that's like slipping my mind. But it'd been 2 years since Kate and her mother were gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm interested to kind of see how more about how time works, because if memory serves me correctly, that was the same dimension they were in the last Godzilla and Kong movie, and it didn't really seem like time had passed. But maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
Actually, from what I read, because I was thinking the same thing to you, it's not the same. It's not the same spot where they were, so that's why they're able to do a little bit more different things with it. Yes, it's not the same thing.
Okay, so I had it backwards then.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I had it backwards too for a minute till I watched the video.
But yeah, to answer your question, the pacing is a really strong point of this show, and it didn't waste any time. It didn't spoon feed you anything. If you watched the last season, great. If not, you should watch it so you're up to speed, because we're not slowing down. That's basically what they said.
Absolutely. And I'm right there with you. I love the way it picked off right where the last season, left off. They got the first thing they had to do was go and save Shaw. That was the only thing. And then they went and saved him. And then we see what happens where they end up letting the kaiju out, right? The Titan, I should say, using kaiju. But they let the Titan out. And I don't know, man. I have a feeling that Titan is not as bad as the other ones that come out there, because it didn't really seem like it wanted to kill or hurt anybody.
Yeah, I think when it killed the director of Monarch, she was just kind of happened to be in the way, a casualty.
Mm-hmm.
But if not to get too ahead of myself, but frigging stupid Kate, I cannot stand her. Because she got that woman killed.
100%. 100%. They told her not to do it, and she did it.
She did it anyway.
But do you blame her? Because it was to save Shaw, right?
Shaw brought it on himself last season, because he could have easily gotten back in that pod to get off, but he wasted time bullshitting around, staring at the time, and he does that from time to time. And Shaw has me yelling at the screen sometimes. What are you doing, man? Get moving.
Why? Like episode 2 or 3 where it went out in the boat, and I was like, really? What I mean? Should have just let that thing drop in the water. I don't know why the hell it would have went to the Titan anyways, but he decided to go in the boat and lead it away. And I was like, he might die at the end of this season.
I have the feeling he might. A character like that has a shelf life. I kind of think he's at the end of his rope anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And say hypothetically we do go beyond season 2, if we get a season 3. Really, how much more could you do with a character like that? Much as I love Kurt Russell, and I love that they got his real life son Wyatt Russell playing the younger version of him, because he's like a carbon copy. He's a clone of his dad.
Facts.
So, but yeah, I wonder just how much you could do with a character like that, because basically all he does is, this is a bad idea. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. getting rid of him might actually kind of help progress the story if they go beyond a season 2. It might be good for the other characters that we have.
I also heard that they might be doing a spin-off with Shaw, right? As a
Mhm,
younger Shaw. So and then maybe flashbacks to kind of like Kirk Russell when he was older or stuff like that.
mhm,
So if they do something like that, I could definitely see him dying at the end of this season, right? It would make sense. And I
mhm.
agree with you. There's not too much more you can actually do with him unless you decide to make him the leader of Monarch, right? Which I think the girl would more be the leader than him. So
Yeah. Mhm.
what's her name? Kilo, Keo,
Yeah.
Keo.
Mhm.
hmm I could
Yeah,
see her leading Monarch more.
and I like her character. I think,
hmm
bringing her back, I think that would be my ideal route to take if they kinda made her, kinda more centralized in Monarch,
Yeah, me too.
especially
100%.
especially with her because she has the intuition, she has a lot of the know-how, and I think and she has the firsthand experience, being down there for as long as she was.
hmm Absolutely.
Mm,
And she's been studying like these titans for her whole life. You know what I mean? Like
mhm.
that's all she ever did. Now I get it that she was gone, but for her, she was only gone for like 51 days or something like that. And
Yeah,
ended up, yeah.
mhm,
So
yeah, yeah, I think that's exactly right, about 51 days, like, roughly about a month and a half, she had said she had been down there.
yeah,
Um, mhm. So, yeah, I think that would be cool if they did that with her. I think she'd definitely be ideal.
I think she would too. Absolutely,
Mhm.
100%. Now she meets up with her. This is her grandson, right? 'Cause I keep getting confused. It's like, is that her son or is it her grandson? That's her grandson, right?
Grandson. Grandson, I
Okay,
believe,
yeah,
yep.
yeah, yeah. That's her grandson, right? So I liked
Mhm,
them getting back together and the way they're having the kind of tension where he's like, you left me because Titans were more
mhm.
important than me and stuff like that. So I like that's going to be something that they're going to have to fix throughout the series too, as well.
Definitely. Very well acted scene on this latest episode, by the way.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
yeah. Mhm.
Now, I don't know
Mhm.
about you, but I knew that scene with Shaw and her was gonna happen. You know what I
Me
mean?
too. So,
and
if oh, go ahead,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, I'm sorry.
No, no, go ahead.
No,
Because I think we're thinking the same thing. Go ahead.
it's very I feel like Hollywood, even in shows like this where you could do without it, there's always this pressing need to have this
hmm
soap opera-esque forbidden love
Facts.
story, will we, won't we, and it just always feels so obligatory, man.
100%. I always talk about tropes, and this is one of them. And I
Mm.
think we're gonna find out that Shaw is his father, and it wasn't the other guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, man, I'll put money down on it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I like the way the last episode ended. We'll get to that too, but I like the way it ended where it was like, oh, he left me and I don't know why he left me. And
Mhm,
then we find out why he left, right? Because he saw
mhm.
that letter. So
Yep.
that was cool. But what do you think about, them introducing all these new kind of titans?
I like it. I think it's just the right amount. It doesn't feel like overkill,
hmm
and we're still early on in the season where, they could kinda be explored more. I like that, yeah, I like what I've seen of them so far. It's an appropriately different vibe than last season, where they were just kinda
Yeah.
completely running rampant. It feels, even though
hmm
they're still maintaining the whole, global scale of this, kinda harkening back to what you said, they don't seem as bad as the ones that, from last season. It seems like for the most
Facts.
part, these guys just kinda they're not dead set on wreaking havoc, they just kinda wanna exist.
Facts. 100%. And that's the thing. So I don't know if because this takes place before some of the movies, I believe. I don't know if all of them. So
I
they
think
have
you're
to be
right. Yeah.
careful. Yeah, they have to be careful not to mess up the continuity, right?
Right.
Which I
Hmm.
hope they don't. But so because we don't hear anything about this Titan, and I think they're kind of doing it in a way to where it's like, and again, I'll get to the last episode too, but then the last episode they're like, oh, we got to take it away so that it doesn't go to town. And I think that's how they're gonna show that, it still lines up with the movies, because people in town never actually seen this one. They're gonna take it
Hmm.
someplace else. So I like
Yeah.
that. Nate Jones said Monarch is fire. Yeah, Monarch is pretty good. It's pretty
It's
good.
really good. Yeah, I absolutely love it. And I even like as far as season one goes, it's got some good rewatch value too, because I
Yeah,
rewatched it in preparation for this and was still like glued to the screen, like just like I was when I first watched it.
I agree with you 100%.
Mhm.
Is there anything in this episode you didn't like?
Just like I mentioned a second ago, just the whole I could do without the whole with the flashbacks, the whole kind of soap opera-y kind of like I said, it's very tropey. You see it
Hmm.
over and over and over again. You don't necessarily need it. Um,
I agree.
it's something that in some cases, kind of like this one, if if you got rid of it completely, it you know,
It wouldn't
I'd
change
probably
nothing.
it wouldn't change anything.
Yeah, yeah, I
Mhm,
agree. The show would still be great. You don't need to have this little drama between this love triangle and stuff like that and all of
mhm.
this, because
Exactly.
it's kind of weird now that she's young and Shaw's like 80. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Right? Mhm. Yep.
Like they can't have a relationship. Well, I mean, I guess they could do that,
Mhm.
but I don't see them going that route. So,
Yeah, and they're relegating the character of Bill Randa to, like, this, dopey third wheel,
yeah, yeah.
which, in Kong Skull Island, John Goodman, the older Bill
Hmm.
Randa, they I think they kinda need to do more to make me believe that, this actor, Anders Holm, I believe, is gonna eventually grow into the John Goodman character. They
Hmm.
could they could do more with him. They could, you know, stop making him such a wet rag. I think
Facts.
that's you know, and just do more with him. And like I said, man, I can't stand Kate. All she does is complain, pisses and moans about everything,
Hmm.
makes life
Hmm.
harder for everyone. She just I it's a shame because I like the actress usually.
Hmm. I would have to agree with you. Kate is the worst out of the character, the younger ones. Yeah, she's
Mhm.
the worst.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just oh, give me 1 second. I gotta get these out of the
Yeah,
way. I'll be
go
right
ahead.
back.
Go ahead.
Alright, alright.
And Nick Jones said, I dislike Kate after she let the monster escape. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, right? But I was telling Brown Man earlier, it's like, well, it was kind of to save Shaw. But then Brown Man was like, well, you know what? Shaw put himself in that predicament at the end of the season. He could have got into the pod and he didn't. And I was like, yeah, you're kind of right. But it, and you could see when they let it go, how Kong was really upset with them. You know what I mean? Like he was yelling and he tried to chase it down. And I don't know if there's gonna be this huge big fight between Kong and that Titan, but I hope we get something. It's a TV series, so you got to understand that their budgets aren't going to be like these movie budgets that we're used to watching. So you're going to get sporadically the Titans going around and stuff like that. So I just hope they do it enough where we get to see a Kong and this thing fighting at one point. That would be
Y
fire.
Yeah, I wonder I feel like they will do that. I feel like there will be some kind of payoff. I think the question is because what are we getting? 8 episodes or 10?
I think it's 8.
Yeah. So, we're kinda surpassing that midway point. So I think excuse me, we're gonna see progressively more Kong,
Mm-hmm.
probably little by
Absolutely.
little,
And And like I was telling Anik Jones, I'm like, this is a TV series, right? So you can't expect to see Kong and these Titans in every episode. They're just not going to have the budget for that, right? So
Right,
they're going to
right.
save it for something big.
Yeah. And I yeah, so I think, kind of closer to the end, kind of like they did with last season with some of the Godzilla
Yeah,
stuff.
I
So I'm
agree.
kind of counting on that to happen too. I do like that, the subversion, with the MonsterVerse movies versus this series. Heck, it's called
Hmm.
Monarch, so you expect a lot of the kind of people in the chairs tracking all this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
the emphasis on how this is impacting, people and civilians and Monarch itself from a global standpoint. So
Hmm.
I like that. It enriches and expands the universe, you know?
Absolutely. And then you get, because it's a series, you get a lot of good character development, right? You have time to sit with these characters and watch them grow. And I think it's always good when you're able to give characters like this extra layer and make them feel like, oh, I can get with this character, or I don't like this character because of, I
Mm.
always think that's great.
Yeah, which actually leads me to a question for you, Anzo. That
Go ahead.
said, do you have like a character you find most engaging or that you think has been developed or the best on this show?
Honestly, I do like Shaw. I
Mhm,
think he does some messed up stuff, or like he doesn't, you know what I mean? But I think he still cares about what's going on in the world. He still cares about the people around him. So I think Shaw is a pretty good character to me too. Um
mhm.
I also like the grandson too. I like him too. I think he's a really good character as well.
Me too. Me too. I'd say, yeah, Kentaro, probably my
Hmm.
number one favorite character at this point.
Yeah.
Shaw, I really enjoy, especially just how they're handling the past and present element of him. I even like what they're doing with the character of Tim.
Yeah, me too. I was just about to say that. Me too. And
Mhm.
because he started off weak, right? Like, and then
He
in
started
the
out.
last
Mhm.
episode, he was like, "No, this is what we're doing." I was like, "Okay, you getting some backbone." I like
Mhm.
that. I like that.
Exactly, and that was those were my thoughts exactly. I like, that he's kind of, that he's grown a backbone. He's becoming a little more authoritative because he was,
Hmm.
let's face it, he was forced and thrown headfirst into that authority figure
Facts.
spot when Verdugo got killed. Basically, I'd say
Yeah. And even in the first
so.
season, he was kind of like a, jokey character kind of way. Like you didn't take him serious. So I think we're gonna get
Mhm.
into more things about him being coming in a little bit more serious. I think Jones said,
Absolutely.
I'm confused. Is this new monster in Monarch more powerful than the monster in Godzilla, the one that looks like the dragon with the six heads? I have no idea.
I'm not sure. I'm I'm inclined to say, yeah, that's a great question. I don't think so, just because
Neither do I.
the mutos that Godzilla is always dealing with are just so OP,
Hmm.
and um so I don't think so. I'm not yeah, I don't I'm inclined to say no.
Me too. I'm inclined to say
Mhm.
no too. Um, because you don't want to, like, it's like you have this titan that's more powerful than the one in the movie. Well, why didn't you use this one in the movie, right? Like, what happens
Yeah.
to it after the end of this? If it survives, then it's like, okay, well, you have this more powerful titan out there, unless it's going to be
Mhm.
part of the next movie, which I doubt. But
Mhm.
it could be. It could be because everything
Yeah.
is connected, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's my big question because 'cause we're getting the next, Godzilla Kong movie next year,
Yeah,
roughly around
absolutely.
this time, if memory serves me correctly. So, yeah, this very well could bridge into that.
And you know what's funny?
Mhm.
This show makes me more interested in that next movie coming up, right? The last one I
Me
liked.
too.
The first one
Me
I
too.
thought was okay because Kong
Mhm.
lost a couple of those fights. I didn't like that crap. Like, no, we can't be beating up on Kong. You know what I'm saying? No, we're not doing
No,
that.
no, yeah. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. That kind of as a Kong stan, that got on my nerves too, for sure.
Yeah, pissed me off, you know? Like, wait a minute. All right,
Mhm.
whatever. But I think in the next one or in this one, more Kong, we're not gonna see him lose. Like if he has to fight that Titan, he's probably not gonna lose because we gotta show that Kong and Godzilla are the two strongest Titans out there, right? So hopefully
Exactly.
Kong kicks some butt in this series. But I love the end of this episode
I
because like
agree.
I said, Kong comes in, man. He destroys the machine and he was pissed and
Mhm.
he goes after the Titan as the Titan escapes. I'm like, yes, give me more Kong, man. Give me more Kong.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I like this iteration of Kong. You know, they really established right out of the gate, ever since Kong Skull Island, which is something that I loved about that movie in particular, is
Mm-hmm.
that like he's not to be trifled with.
Facts.
And he could hold his own against he can hold his own against Godzilla, which I like. You know,
Facts.
we saw that
100%.
we saw that right? We saw that in the last movie when 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 he went to work on Godzilla in Egypt, I believe, which was dope.
Yeah. 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 Hey, that fight scene was fire. I really enjoyed that one. You know what I
That fight
mean?
scene was flame. I loved it. Mhm.
Absolutely. It's just that
Yep.
when I watch those movies, as much as I love to see the Godzilla and Kong stuff, they
Mhm.
cut back to these kids, and I'm just like, oh my God, here we go. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
it's it's the you know, it's the Michael Bay Transformers
Oh,
effect, you
100,
know?
100%.
I yeah, I wanna see the monsters, though that's what I'm here to see, I
Mm-hmm.
don't the the kid stuff, especially in those movies, it just slows things down, walks it back for me.
Absolutely, 100%. And
Mhm,
even in the Transformer movies, like it's fine if you want to do the kid stuff, but when you have them doing
Previously on
stupid
Monarch,
things,
Legacy of
that's the
Monsters.
thing that really pisses me off the most. You know what I mean? Like mom will say, "Stay here. It's dangerous out
mm,
there," and then 2 minutes later, the kid runs out like he could do something. I'm like, bro, come on
yeah,
now.
doing
You
it
know?
anyway, yeah, like, seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those things bother me. I hate those
yeah.
things. Now in
Oh, man, I
episode
can't
two,
stand it. Mhm,
we get a little bit more details of those little creatures there that are with the Titan. I don't even remember what
mhm.
they're called. But what did you think about the like that there's thousands of them?
Yeah, that's first and foremost, the scene when it was on the ship, pretty
Uh-huh.
effective, a little creepy
Facts.
how that thing was skittering around.
Facts.
So, the fact that there's so many out there definitely adds more of a sense of urgency to the show,
Mm-hmm.
which I
Mm-hmm.
think, just considering the scope of the show, is pretty necessary. So I like how they're handling it so far, just as long as there's a payoff and they bring it full circle by the end of the season.
Me
Because
too.
yeah, they gotta come back and to address that. They have to.
100% because I'm like if they let those things just go on the earth, like they're done, right? Like there were
Right.
so many of them that came out of the ground. I'm like, that's why I'm like, maybe this Titan isn't as bad. Like we're gonna find out maybe Kong has a fight with it, but they stop and it lets it go or something like that. Because even when the boat was chasing it, I think it's in this episode where the boat was chasing it, right? And
Mhm.
it was going after the boats. The thing made that noise. It came back for it, and then after it got it, it left. Right? It wasn't
It
going
left.
to attack anything. Yeah. So Anik Jones said the reason why I asked is because the way the Monarch series is going, they're making it seem like the monster is powerful from ancient stories. Yeah, yeah, it makes sense. How many Titans are there? Do you think we will get a super bad monster like the creator of all Monster Kings? Oof. I think there's a lot, but what I think they're doing is because the new group comes and takes over. What's the name of that group?
Oh yeah, the one that Cliff Curtis on this new episode.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Why is it slipping?
yeah. It slipped my mind too. Acres or
mm,
something like that, or something
something
like
to that
that.
effect.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me see if I can find it.
But I think they're going to build the either Robot
Hmm.
Kong or Robot Godzilla, and that's what their plan is,
Hmm.
right? Because there's one scene where Tim is like, "Yeah, they're into biometrics and
Hmm.
cybernetics and stuff like that," and I was like, "Oh, are we gonna see Mecha Kong or Mecha Godzilla? Maybe both."
Hmm. And you know what? That would be really, really cool. Kind of depending on where this takes place in the timeline,
Mm-hmm.
because we never got in Godzilla vs Kong like an in-depth explanation, if memory serves me correctly, of where Mechagodzilla came from. Or am I wrong?
No, I don't.
Um,
I don't think we got the
we
full
didn't get the full
explanation.
explanation.
Yeah, yeah.
They do kind of allude to it, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
like they spend a whole lot of time going in depth. So so if they wanted to, that's something they could definitely do.
It would definitely make sense, especially if these guys are monitoring Godzilla, because
Mhm.
they already said that they don't trust them, right? Like it's like I
Right.
don't trust them, and then they sent May to go infiltrate
Hmm.
to see what's going on, and I think she's gonna find out that they're working on making a Mecha Godzilla, and we might
Hmm.
see that they're making a Mecha Kong too as well,
Yeah.
which would be
Me too.
fire.
Me too. That would be amazing. Actually, that would be super cool.
And episode two, like there's not much in here, but we
Hmm.
get to see, like you said with Kate, where she's like feeling guilty for what she did, and I'm like, okay, at this point, just own it. You know, you did it, you saved Shaw, but now you
Hmm.
crying and talking about you want to leave and stuff. That's where this is where she gets really annoying.
Yeah, I mean, she overheard people talking about her understandably
Yeah,
so, and runs off
right.
like a petulant child. I'm like, "What are you,
Facts,
6?
facts,
You
facts.
little you big baby?"
I would have been like, yeah, I did it, and I saved Sean. I'd do it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
like
own shit.
yeah,
So,
like she just pouts. She's a petulant little baby.
yeah,
Ev
100%.
every episode, "Oh my god, I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm just like, "Jesus, like, just
Mm-hmm.
be an adult."
And even there was a scene where Kay is talking to his father,
Mhm,
right? And she comes in and she sees it and she kind of like gives this like oh what's going on here type. And I'm like, man, listen,
mhm,
he was a Rolling Stone. It is what it is. You know
mhm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Except that you have a half brother and move on with it. I know it's rough, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just every episode with her.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Uh,
I agree.
mhm, and, like I said, I like the actress Anna Sawai, I think is how you say her last name.
Hmm.
She's fine, but, if this character is gonna stick around, holy crap, like, just do something with her. Do
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. Because even in the last episode, right, where she's in the bar, her
mhm.
friend's like, "Oh, you've changed," and I'm like, "Yeah, not for the better, though." You
Not
know
for
what
the
I
better,
mean?
right? Mhm, yeah. Mhm,
She's
mm,
whiny, she's complaining. But in episode two, I really liked this scene with Shaw and Tim
mhm,
because he was like, "Oh, they want you arrested," and he's like,
mhm.
"But that last part didn't come through great." And I was like, "Okay." So I see
Yeah,
Tim is at least understanding the situation and knows that Shaw and Kilo are perfect for the job,
mhm,
right? They've been around long enough. So, what are your thoughts on this
yeah.
scene?
I liked it because again, they're really stepping things up with the character of Tim. I kind of like these kind of character based moments in the show. I think those really, really drive it. And again, uh, it, it it helps out with a sense of urgency that's very much a constant throughout the show.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I like moments like this. It's really good that Tim really gets what's at stake, and he is, even though they kind of come to blows at times, he is trying to kind of compromise and work with Shaw in a progressive and positive direction. So I like that they're doing that with the character, even though they don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even though they don't necessarily always see eye to eye, he's Tim in particular is trying to make it work.
Absolutely. And to me, even in the first season, I didn't think Tim was going to take this route because he kind of seemed like he was against them, right? Like when he was chasing down the kids and everything. So the
My
fact
thoughts
that he
exactly.
changed, yeah, the fact that he changed and now he's like, okay, you know what? We need you. I like that. I really do.
Hmm. Yeah, me too. Me too. It's they really could have fallen into the trap of doing the opposite because you see so
Yeah.
much of that
Yeah.
in other media and other shows. So the fact that they're going against the grain in that regard is something that just another thing in the list of things that I really enjoy about the show.
Absolutely. Now they
Mhm,
did in the last movie by getting a monster skull and using thoughts to control the
mhm,
Mecha Godzilla. Yeah, but did they tell us who was the company that was doing it, right? Is it the same company that's in Monarch now that took over Monarch? Because if it is, then it ties it in perfectly. And I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
that's what I'm kind of assuming and hoping for, you know,
Me too.
because that's just another thing to bring full circle, you know.
100%.
And, stuff like this, payoff is always important. So I think that'd be good, and really, I think that's the most plausible route to take.
Absolutely. Now we
Mhm,
get to this scene here where they go into that little town and they know something is up and
mhm,
everybody's warning them to leave. And she's
mhm.
like, no, we need to stay. I was like, oh my Lord, woman,
Like,
you're
what
going
are
to
you
get people killed.
like, what are you doing? Turn around. Like, what are you
Hmm.
doing?
Facts.
At
Facts.
one
There's a reason why they don't want you there.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, I think I literally at one point said to the screen, "What are you doing?"
mm-hmm. Me too. Me too. I'm
Mhm,
like, are you crazy? Like, you got a whole town of people telling you that you need to leave. Then you go in the cave and you see markings that look like creatures. I'd
mhm.
have been like, you know what, Shah? You're right. I think we need to get out of here
Yeah, we need to go.
because, and then, right? Not only do they not go, the townspeople come and says, hey, you know what? We're having a little party. We want to celebrate you.
Mhm.
And they're like, yeah, sure, let's go.
Mhm. Yeah. You don't like you really don't see any. You really can't read the room. You
Facts.
you can't tell that this is a trap. Like, come on.
100%,
Mhm.
but she was so interested in trying to get the information about what was happening, she didn't even care. But what do you think of the CGI?
I like the CGI. I think
Me
it's
too.
I think it's um I think it's great. I think it's even though we're not seeing as much of it, like we said, even though
Mhm.
we're not seeing as much of it as we do in the movies for budgetary constraints, but I think overall it's good. It holds up just fine alongside the movies. As
Me too.
just as good as the movies. I think that it I love the look of this show as a whole. It's
Me
it's
too.
very it's very cinematic. It almost at times I do feel like I'm watching a movie. Sometimes like
Hmm.
I like shows like this because one of my habits, Enzo, is whenever a show comes out in its entirety, I'll go back and watch it all in succession
Hmm.
in one sitting if I can. Like, I'll dedicate a day to it, and
Yeah.
if it feels like I'm watching a an 8-hour movie.
100%. And I agree with you on that too, because I think the CGI is great, especially this last scene where the creature first comes up from the water. I was like, man, good
Yeah.
job. Because you could see some of these shows where it's like, that doesn't look too good. But I think they're putting a lot of effort into the CGI and it works.
Absolutely. So, the fact that when we do see the monsters, it really seems like they're sparing no expense, which I think is
Absolutely.
great.
100. Me too. 100%. I really enjoy it. I think so far, I've enjoyed every episode so far.
Mhm.
Right. And I think it's just as good. I hope, because there's only 4 episodes in, right? But
Mhm.
or actually 3 episodes in. But I hope it ends and it's like, because so far it's on par with season one. I really enjoy
Yep.
season one. I think season two right now is on par with that. I hope it sticks to landing to where it's like, oh man,
Absolutely.
these are two great seasons,
Mhm.
But we get to episode
Yep.
three,
Me
which
too.
is
Yep.
called Secrets. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, yeah. This is on the same level as season one for me. That's all I was gonna say.
Absolutely. LDG, thank you for popping in. Much appreciated, man. And I agree with you on that. And I hope it doesn't get silly and doesn't stick the landing, right? Because I kind of like the plan
Mhm.
that they had where they're like, okay, I have another one of these things. We're going to go and pick it up. And in this episode, they see, and let me see if I can find the name of that crew, man. But we see them, and they have been watching these guys from the very beginning, right?
Yep.
I like that. Hold on, let me see if I can find the name of that
Mhm.
crew, because it's driving me up a wall. I think it's in episode 3 where they first come in, or episode 2.
Mhm.
A bountiful cat.
Might have been 3.
Yeah, it's definitely 3. It's
Mhm.
definitely 3.
Loco.
See, there's money to be made in the Titan business.
Okay, it's right here.
This is the best chance you had
Yeah.
of finding that Titan.
And
Okay.
by the
Yeah,
way,
go ahead.
always a pleasure to see Cliff Curtis.
Stay out of our way.
Facts.
Somebody let you know where the-
Facts.
love
I
that
was
dude.
like, oh, I was like, he's in this. I was like, okay, that's good.
You could call it an upgrade.
That
if you
that
said
dude
it's
that
a
dude
Titan on
is
the list
great
of
in pretty much everything that he shows up
Apex.
in.
Absolutely, I agree.
What? That's amazing. Okay, so we build a Titan
I think it's
dog
gonna
whistle,
come up here.
and we lure it out here into the southern.
We need you in the command center.
We need command override access to the whole system.
Hey, excuse me. Hi. Can I help you?
Ah, I'm guessing by the air of command and that beard, you must be Tom.
Tim, actually.
Right. Jason Trissett, head of special projects, Apex Cybernetics.
Apex. Yeah. There we go. Apex Cybernetics. Thank God. I was like, man, I can't remember the name of the company. Apex Cybernetics, which makes sense now when you say Apex Cybernetics, makes sense too as to the Mecha Godzilla, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So, yeah, I like that tie-in.
Yeah.
Now we get
So
Tim. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I'm saying so they have to be responsible for Mecha Godzilla or Mecha Kong or whatever mech we're gonna get.
Absolutely, 100%. I think maybe because we already got Mecha Godzilla in the movie, right?
Right. Yeah. In the first Godzilla vs Kong.
Yeah, so maybe in this one you're gonna see Mecha Kong, like the first prototype was a Kong, and then they make Godzilla for that movie.
Yeah.
That would be good.
I
That'd be
think
good.
that would. Yeah, I think that would be the preferred route.
Me
Yeah.
too. I'm gonna play this because I really enjoyed this conversation because Tim actually showed some balls, and I was like, finally.
Whether Monarch wants to admit it or not, Colonel Shaw has a lifetime of experience. We would be idiots not to listen to him and Dr. Randa. Do I need to remind you what happens when there's a Titan rampaging through a city? Because I was. Are you through? I don't know. You tell me. Am I?
Right.
The
jury's still out.
See, that's what I like, right? Usually it's like, yeah, I'm finished, or no, I'm not. He's like, you tell me if I'm finished or not. I like that.
Yeah, I like that he's, like you said, like putting his foot down, because Yeah, the character in the first season was just this kind of dweeby, like kind of
Mhm.
yes man almost.
Mhm.
So I like where they're going with him. Like run with that. Run with that as far as you can.
Absolutely, 100%. Now, the I guess the town was expecting the Titan to kill them because it didn't,
Mhm.
and they ended up running away, and they like went and hid. And she seen them and let
Mhm.
them go, which I knew she was gonna do,
Mhm.
but I don't know, just kind of weird. Like you still wanted them dead, you know what I mean? Like you still understood, and then you let them go. I guess I don't
Exactly. Yeah.
know, but it did lead to them end up going into this little cabin
Mhm.
and they got it on and popping. And I was like, okay, so
Okay.
here's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The soap opera subplot, the obligatory soap opera subplot.
Right. And it's funny too, right? Because when I said earlier, like they show it to connect with the past or the future, and now it's because the grandson or the son, whatever, had the two wives,
Mhm.
right? So it's going to be a way for her to relate to him, being like, yes, I understand, I get it, I loved two people too. And then they're going to say, but your father is Shah, it's not so and so. I 100% believe that.
Mhm. Yep. So it's coming. Trust me. It's that's going to be it's going to be an inevitable reveal. They
100%.
always do stuff like that, you know?
And you know
So,
what, it wouldn't
mm,
surprise me if Shah finds out right before he dies.
yeah.
You know
Mhm,
what I'm saying? Like, oh,
mhm,
that's my son, and he does something to sacrifice himself to save his son because he realizes his kid, and yeah, so it'd be interesting. What did
mhm.
you think about going back to her house?
Um, Kate going back to hers?
Yeah, and talking with her mom and whoever that white dude was. I don't even know who that dude was.
Yeah, I don't even know who that was. I think he was in season 1. Wasn't he the one who picked them up from the airport on, that
Oh,
one
yeah, I
episode?
think so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But, you know, I knew I had a feeling at some point this was gonna happen. She was gonna go running back home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because that's what Kate does. She runs off and pouts. She
Absolutely.
so I knew it was coming. And, by the end of this episode, with everything that's going on, we all know it's only a matter of time before she goes she goes and rejoins everyone.
100%. Now,
Mhm.
can they redeem her in your eyes?
I feel like it's too far gone. You know, they just it's just such a flat line that they walk with her character. They at least are doing something with the others.
Hmm.
It's like with most characters, it's kind of like they're going at an incline. She's not even going at a decline. She just goes like this. She was
Facts.
like that from the beginning of the show. She was like that at the end of season 1. She's like that in the whole of season 2 so far.
Facts.
So I just she's just the weak link in the
Absolutely.
in the show. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be changing anytime soon. And if it's going to, they better do it starting the next episode.
Yeah, she needs to have some seriously badass moments and not just one episode. We
Not
need to
just
see like 3 or 4 badass moments and the
yeah,
whining is stopped. And yeah, because other than that, man, she could die.
yeah. Even with the one monster coming after her on episode 2,
Hmm.
she you think she's going to attack it with a fire hydrant. Everyone else freaking what's his face? Kentaro and I think May
Yeah,
might have helped.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then they completely incapacitate it, and then here the hell she comes in once it's down and not moving with the fire hydrant. Uh, uh,
Facts.
take that.
Facts. Facts.
And
We end up finding out that whatever they were doing, whatever they had planned, they got stole which was by Apex that stole them because May is now working for Apex. And that's another thing that I like too, right? Tim's
Mhm.
idea was for May to go and infiltrate
Mhm.
Apex. Tim is not dumb either. And I'm like, good. At least you're giving him something to do this season. I like that.
Exactly.
Making him a
Me
good
too.
character.
Me too. That's how you flesh out and develop a character.
100%. 100%. I agree.
Mhm.
Um, what else happened? Okay, so yeah, so this episode pretty much ends with okay, so we find out that after Shaw slept with what's her name? Some of my mind.
Um, it is
Kilo?
Kiko.
Keiko. Yeah, Keiko.
Mhm.
After he sleeps with Keiko, Keiko writes a letter telling him that she cannot be with him because Bill is her love, right? She says, I love you, but Bill is my heart, right? You could see that now
Mhm.
Shaw is upset. He starts to drink some more. And then the
Mhm.
episode ends with Bill finding the letter.
The letter.
Now,
Yep.
do you think they're going to have a reunion like before he dies or something like that? Like there has to be a time where they see each other. Maybe like John Goodman shows up, or maybe no, it couldn't have been before he left. It would have to be
Mhm.
recently. But he's dead though.
Yeah, because
Oh no, this is
Skull
before
Island.
Kong Scott. Is this? You see, the timeline's kind of confusing me because I know this
Mm.
is before the Godzilla movie, but I'm not
It's
sure if
before
it's before Skull Island.
Skull Island took place in the 70s, if memory, or 60s, late 60s,
Mhm.
early 70s. Yeah.
Because in the beginning of episode one, season one, they actually show
Mhm.
John Goodman on Skull Island. So maybe it's a little bit. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. But if he's still
Yeah.
alive, then I think they would have a. They're gonna meet up some way.
Yeah. I feel like if they do end up doing that, they have to meet in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, the
Mhm.
because Randa died in Kong Skull Island,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um. But yeah, it would because yeah, it took place like just like right after the Vietnam War, if memory
Yeah.
serves me correctly.
By next week, I'll make sure to watch a video to get the timeline corrected so that we
Mhm.
know, like, okay, this happened, this and this happened, that. Um,
Uh,
let's get your grades for the first three episodes.
oh yeah, yeah. So these are what are we doing now? Later, never, like we do.
You could, yeah. Now, later, never.
Oh yeah. These are now all across the board.
I,
I
I Go
yeah,
ahead.
absolutely. I love this show. I love how it just it fleshes out the universe more. I like for the most part, Kate notwithstanding what they're doing with a lot of the characters. I'm liking the shift from Godzilla to Kong on this season. It really shows the contrast in characters, what the monsters are about. Even though you know, the Mutos from the Godzilla side of things, who just
Mm-hmm.
basically are running rampant, wreaking havoc wherever they go, leaving tons of destruction in their wake. And
Facts.
for the most part, with the exception of a small few, it seems like Kong and everyone on his side just really just kind of wants to exist unbothered,
Mm-hmm.
which is really interesting. And just what they're doing with the Monarch side, I think they're doing a pretty good job with pushing things forward in that regard. And I like how they maintain the global urgency element. I really feel that throughout. They don't lose track of that. So all they need to do with the second half of episodes for this season, just work towards bringing it full circle, wrap it up good. If they could do that and not leave any stones unturned, tie any and all loose ends, give us some cool Kong and versus other monster stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be completely satisfied. I'll rank this right alongside season one, which I also hold in a pretty high regard. So yeah,
Absolutely.
these are nows all across the board.
I agree with you 100%. I'm giving them all nows. You
Mhm.
said it exactly right. Because even when like season one came on, I was like iffy about it. I was like, I don't know how good this is gonna be. And
Yeah.
from the first episode, I was like, oh damn, this is
Right.
really well written, you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm. Right.
So let me ask you this though, because I gotta do this. I know Danny's probably not watching, but if he ever watches this, I'm doing this for Danny.
Uh-huh.
Godzilla or Monarch or Cross?
Ooh. Gosh. Ooh. You know, Monarch. Monarch in this case. Yeah.
I,
Monarch for sure.
I'm right there with you.
Uh-huh. I feel like even though I'm liking both seasons of Cross, they're kind of the same, if I'm being honest.
Hmm.
You know, with the whole cat and mouse element of both
Hmm.
seasons, y- you know, it's kind of the same. There's a lot of untapped potential that they're doing in season 2 of Cross, especially with the character of John Samson. I
Yep.
just think they're doing the great Isaiah Mustafa a disservice
Hmm.
with that whole subplot. There's a lot more that you kind of see coming with season 2. You know, particularly with Matthew Lillard's character.
Yep.
It's kind of dipping a little more into the formulaic for me.
Same.
You know, I think my favorite part of season 2, man, is Bobby Trey. I think he's such a fun character to
Yeah.
watch.
Me too.
I want my Bobby Trey spin-off show.
Me too. I
I
like
get
Bobby Trey.
Bobby Trey is awesome. I could listen to audiobooks of him just doing that voice. You know, um, he's my favorite thing about this season, but you know, there's more to unpack with Monarch. I like that they're
Mhm.
kind of deviating so as to keep things fresh from season 1 to 2. I like that, you know, like I said, the shift, the way that they're moving forward with the characters. You know, it's a lot more fun of a sandbox to play in.
I agree with you. And I'm right there with you because you said it's doing something different, right? First
Mhm.
season, we followed Godzilla. If I don't see Godzilla in this season, I'm cool with it. Long as we see
I'm good
Kong,
with it.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Like, hey, let's see Kong because it makes sense if that's the universe you're trying to build. Yeah, you put one season as Kong, second season, first season Godzilla, second season Kong, and if you do a third season, they're both together. You know, so I think it's great. I think it's great.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm
Um,
curious to see how many. Mm, I'm curious to see how many seasons they end up doing.
Me too.
If they did, if they did 3 and capped it off
Hmm.
exactly how you said. You know, season 1 Godzilla, season 2 Kong, season 3 Godzilla and Kong. If they were to
Hmm.
do something like that, I'd be completely satisfied. And you know, with the next Godzilla Kong coming out next year, even if a potential season 3 took place after that, just to kind of bridge the
Hmm.
gap, and
Hmm.
whatever they do after that, I'd be I think that would be absolutely perfect.
Same here. And you don't want them to do too many seasons to where this starts to get like, okay, now you guys lost the ideas and it's getting a little redundant and boring.
Yeah.
So 3 seasons of this would be good because you can add the movies along with it, right?
Hmm.
Have a great story between movies and TV. And it seems to me like they're doing a better job of connecting the TV show to the movies than Marvel ever could do.
I feel that for sure. You know,
Mhm.
they're a lot more focused, a lot more laser sighted.
Mhm.
It's they're it's tighter,
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah,
and they're really doing a great job at bridging the gap and kind of filling in the blanks.
absolutely.
I agree with that, man. And shit, you know, I'm an MCU stan, you know, but like, yeah, even so, I can admit they're not doing the greatest at that with a lot of the
Mhm.
stuff they're churning out. So
Absolutely.
yeah, with this focus, you know, focus is key, and I think that they're they're doing a great job with that. So yeah,
Absolutely. And,
I
and we're not saying because well, some of the Marvel shows were crap, but some of them were okay, right? It's just that when you look at the connective tissue,
Mhm.
it's like seems all over the place, and then you watch the connective tissue in this, and you understand where it's going and how it's connected. So you're right; they're a lot tighter, a lot tighter.
They're a lot tighter, and I appreciate it when a show doesn't baby you or talk down to you.
Facts,
And
facts,
this show never treats you like you're an idiot.
facts.
So I appreciate that when the showrunners and the writers respect their audience
Facts.
in that
A
regard.
lot of Netflix shows do that. Treat you like you're stupid, where you have to repeat the plot over and over and over again. It's like, yeah, we get it. We know what's going on. You know what I mean? So I agree with you on that one.
Yep, they explain it and then they keep it moving, and they never they're never heavy-handed with it either,
Facts.
which is good.
Facts. 100%. Tell the people where they can find you, Brandman.
You can find me and my buddies Brian the Grizzly and Tank on Spoiler Kings Review every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday.
That is correct. And if you want to see Brandman pass out, go in a little bit later in the stream and you'll see him passing out on the stream.
Oh
every
yeah,
now and then.
like.
But hey, thank you for doing this with me, man. I appreciate it. I know next week is the last episode of, I believe it's Cross, last episode of Cross. So I can kind of move this around to a better day for you, if anything.
Certainly.
Okay.
Yeah, and thank you for
brother.
having me. All right, man.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I was like, I need to talk about Monarch. Nobody wanted to talk about it. And then when Brian said, oh, Brandman will do it, I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So
just say the word, buddy. Just say the word.
I got you. Everybody in the chat, thank you for coming in. Much appreciated. Stay tuned because we'll be doing the From Watch party next. So hope you guys enjoy that. Peace, love, and hair grease. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace out.
I know that they're playing on my downfall, but I know my purpose here is bigger than me. Every time I'm lost, I find my way. Okay, I ain't never stressing. Okay, bring on all my blessings. All my blessings. Let them lead the way. All my blessings. Hey. You ready? All my blessings. Hey, yo. Gotta get out of my head, gotta get out of my bed. Gotta stop worrying about all my problems and focus on finding solutions instead. Change up the vision, been on a mission to count on my blessings instead of my bread. I've been addicted to better in every component I know I control for I'm dead. Finally figure I've been that. If I'm talking, I'm making an impact. If it's hate on the way, then I skip that. If I said it, you know that I meant that. And in fact, I won't be throwing no stones, rather be setting the tone. Oh man, I gotta get it, I'm grown, even if it's on my own. Oh man. Enemies trying to get rid of me, tendencies that'll turn kin to the enemy. Pretend to be with the team, here's my remedy. Focus on me and the things God getting me. When these seeds planted, grow my entities, been going hard. The intensity, how that work out, splendidly. Focus on me and the things God getting me.
See, I usually close it up, but I had to come on Narski Music One. Boo to you too. All right? Boo to you too. It's not my fault. Not my fault you came in here late, man. It's not my fault. But thank you for coming anyways. Peace.